These are a bit of an old favourite of mine. This is the Kenwood TS530S, and we've got the 530S and the 530SP sitting here, and we've got a few more of these at the moment, and this one was a little bit worse for wear. Usual story that valves have got a bit worn down, and we actually decided to put in a new set of I went a little bit crazy on these ones, so I had some brand new GE tubes sitting around, and please take note too, with the 530, you do want to use the 6146Bs, not the earlier. Even the Ws can give you a bit of trouble, so just use 6146Bs in there. And yeah, there was a little bit of a tidy up. As you'll see on down here, we had to clean off a bit of the junk. That was actually giving us a bit of trouble, believe it or not, and that all got cleaned off. There's a little bit of surface stuff still there, but that was actually from, I was talking to Ross, 7ALH, about that, and we reckon smokers, you know, years and years of people smoking, and build up a bit of rubbish on there, and that does sort of make some sense. Okay, so basically PA stage now looking really nice. We'll put a cover back on there generally. Now I'm operating this as is right now because I sort of know these radios inside out, but this is the worst way that you can leave one of these turned on. This is exactly how you will get problems. You know, one of the things we always show, if I turn the radio off and just grab a screwdriver, is of course just exactly how many volts we are talking. See that little zap there? You know, keep in mind you've got 700-800 volts that are floating around a lot of these areas. So great radios, but don't go, if you haven't had a little bit to do with valves, leave this area here totally alone. Back here, you're not too bad. A little bit of filament voltage on that 12BY7, etc. The power supply is a nightmare that you need to be careful of. The most I would say to someone, if you haven't done a lot of valve work, certainly this board here, very easy to take out to add, you know, crystal filters for sideband and CW in here. If you need to work on the display unit, not hard at all. Underneath is really full of traps and nightmares that are PA related and power supply related as well. So you kind of want to, you know, stay away from that if you haven't done a lot of valve work. But look, it's come up pretty well actually. It's I've just got it on 7097, and hoping a mate of mine, never know, might be around. Sorry, but I've got to say the antenna I'm on out in, and yes, we're out in the barn as per usual, and I've got a beautiful new workshop sitting inside, and for some reason I end up out here so often, and I've got a new analyzer, well not new, I've got another analyzer in there, I should say. I'm using the Motorola 2001 in there, and obviously the IFR 1000S here, and then I've got a HP 8924 on another bench, so it's a bit crazy around the place at the moment. But look, good radios, these things. Just, you know, they percolate beautifully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. VK3 Charlie Mike just testing on 7097. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I can actually adjust that. I've got that peaked at the moment, and there's a little adjustment on the back, which is really an easy one to get to right here. You can actually play around with that, and that might probably take it down actually. Oh no, 1, 2, 1, 2, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. And you can actually set that RF level so that it's, you know, how you'd like it to sort of indicate without going too silly. You don't want it smashing over the side. But they were a neat radio. They certainly were fully featured. They were $769 from ICS Communications back in 1980, I think, somewhere around there. I'm thinking about when I bought my first one, I was apprentice. 81 maybe, 80, 81, somewhere around there. Someone can correct me on that, but I definitely remember having to fork out some money. I was an apprentice, and John Moffat from ICS, which is a great name from way back, he was the Kenwood dealer. We were the ICOM dealers up at Prospect, and he was down the port, and he gave me a great price on one actually, so that the apprentice actually could eat that week, and it was really nice of him. But and that's the thing, is, you know, it was a really good trade to grow up in. So really, you know, I'm not going to go through tune-up procedures and bits and pieces. I mean, we all know what ALC is. IP, definitely, you know, I could go through how to dip the current, but read the manual. Certainly have a look at, you know, you should be getting about 800 volts there, and there you go. The other thing you shouldn't be doing too is under load, seeing that dip. It should be staying there. So if you're seeing it dip, there's generally an issue to go looking for back over in this direction here. So, don't know if we're going to hear anyone. I had it left on... Oh, hang on. We just heard someone. My goodness, on the antenna I'm on. If you saw it, you'd laugh. Oh, up in Queensland, George. And I don't know who he's talking to. They're a little bit fiddly. The plastic knob, I never liked them. I always liked the KB ones because they were just a lot more sort of weighted. And as you can see, yeah, it's very easy to just go past George here. What was he on? 183, I think, from memory. Come on. Yeah, you're there somewhere. Come on, come back. Oh, lost George. All right. It was worth a go. And actually, for the antenna we're on, bit of FT8 this going on there. Yeah, it's like watching paint dry. We won't get into that. And as you can hear the receiver die off there, of course, that's our adjustment. We can just peak that and there we go. And we go from there to peaking up on the band. And normally, if you've moved 100 kcs or so, you know, you will need to just, you know, set up your transmit a little bit again. But certainly, they have nice receivers on the 530s. They really do. I'm not really proving that right now because I should have done this in the shack with all the... Great if you want to listen to FT8. I'll tell you what, I'm doing one of the best FT8 presentations ever without you seeing any data coming from it. But yeah, but they really were the must-have radio back in, you know, sort of when I was a youngster. And I had a 130S, and the 530 was coming out, and I thought I've got to get one of these 530s. And you know, being on about $0 a week. Oh, someone's in the background there. Oh no. Jeez, I'm not having much luck, am I? Anyway, being on $0, that was the thing. It just took time to get these things. So, having a look back at your past is a bit of fun. This was an old mate of mine in Tassie, Ron's. Unfortunately, Ron passed away, and Lee VK7FLAR shot this up to me. And I love restoring radios that have got issues. It's really, you know, a lot of satisfaction, and doesn't take you a lot of time. Just a bit of mucking around, and sometimes I'll give my old mate down there in 7AOH a ring and say, "Oi, what am I missing?" So I don't want to make it sound like I know everything about these, but they had a lot of mic gain actually on these. I was just having a listen before on the little 140 sitting up the top there, and I was just sort of monitoring this thing off air, and oh yeah, it's a bit of drive on them. They sound nice actually, but you know, you do want to keep the drive back a bit. But you know, let me just check VK7FLAR, VK7FLAR. This is VK3 Charlie Mike on 7097. Wonder if you're here at all, Lee. You never know. Lee might come back. The fact that we were hearing Queensland off that stupid antenna of mine, it's a Diamond something. They do 7, 21 and 28 or something. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, that gives you a bit of an idea. You know, it's good to see the thing in pieces. We've just got a couple little more bits to do to it, but after that the covers can go back on it. And that's one reasonably, you know, sort of good looking 530S. I've got better though, I must admit, but it doesn't matter. We've got a couple of touch-ups that we'll do on this one that I reckon will bring pretty close to the one we've got. So, or two we've got, or three, I don't know, just a few. I think Lee sent us another one this week too, so there's another 530 coming, which is a full resto. So that one we'll do some, we might even do a bit of a prolonged video on that one as far as the stages of it, because it's coming in, all the covers are stripped, everything's like, it is bare, and it's going to need a bit of work. So they're the ones we love. All right, well that's the Kenwood TS530S. Certainly a lot of power. 1 2 3 4, 1 2 1 2, 1 2 3 4. Yeah, they've got a lot of drive there, no question about that. And they certainly had the mic gain up a bit too high. Then I should have dropped that back a bit actually. Yeah, good radios. All right, all the best from VK3CM in Tangambalanga, Northeast Victoria. Cheers.